So, hi everyone, my name is Antonia Tzemanaki. I'm in the School of Engineering, Mathematics and Technology, as well as a robotics lab up in the UB French campus. So today, I'd like to talk to you about what we do as a group, and we focus on robotics and AI. And a lot of that is in healthcare technologies, such as surgery and diagnosis. So today I'm going to focus specifically on breast cancer as an example of sort of the capabilities we have as a team. And in fact, this has been a project called Artemis. It lasted about 18 months, co-funded by EPSSC and Cancer Research UK. And we thought it was such an important project that we have really put a lot of resources outside of that initial funding and continuing it. So the question is to everybody, when was your last breast examination? What was it? Was it an ultrasound? Was it a mammogram? Was it a self-examination? And how often do you actually go to it? Do you self-examine? Do you go to your GP? So I'm asking these questions because these are how we started the project, and we had 155 responses from the entire from people across the UK, and we found quite a lot of things about thinking the acceptability, let's say, of how the AI and robotics integrated into the diagnostic process of NHS. And when we found out that screening for breast cancer is offered only every 3 years, that often is not often enough. People that can self-examine don't feel confident to do so, or even they do so, they don't feel confident with the results. Then they sometimes don't want to go to their GP to confirm because they feel they're going to waste their time. They also feel that it's quite embarrassing, a lot of them, depending on religion, status, and they don't want to go unclothed in front of healthcare professionals. And generally, they have very often reported pain, especially during mammograms, and how dehumanized they feel during this process, as well as anxiety waiting for the results. So the idea that we came, with was to try to make a automated examination process for super early detection of any abnormalities, and behind that, we feel it's more about maintaining your breast health. Make sure you have frequent examinations. You empower the patient to take charge of their own data. So these sort of mobile clinics can be sent out in mobile clinic outside, in the street, or can be in the pharmacy, or can be in a shopping center, somewhere near work, somewhere perhaps where the underprivileged and minority groups that don't actually have access or engagement with the screening programs can benefit most from them. And at the very end, you can, as a patient, have access to your own data, or if this is deemed to be not the best solution because of the extra anxiety it might cause to you, then they can go to your GP. So very quickly, this is sort of the prototyping that we've been doing. We are developing our own tactile sensors for palpation. You can see one up here is called the new tip, one down here called espresso, and then we made it very small and we called it coffee bean. We also prototype our own robots for examination. This one was called Iris because it opens and closes at the iris of a diaphragm of a camera. And this one is called Lotus. George had a similar name for their own project because it opens and closes as the petals of a lotus flower, being compliant and safe. So finally, the next thing that we have been doing throughout the entire project was to engage and involve contributors in the research from the start, every 3 or 4 months, show them what we're doing, ask them what we should do, get updates, give them samples, bring them to the lab if we could. It was COVID, so we didn't. And basically update all the research that we're doing according to the feedback we give them. So as I said at the beginning, this is something that we think is really, really important and hopefully will change the landscape for breast cancer. And this is why we're actually continuing this project, and we are looking at further funding. We're actually applying this month as an outline. Again, very, very much involved with PPIE in this project. So if you're interested about that, please do come and talk to me further.